Hey, what's up, everybody? Wagey tapping in for another core chat. Today, just wanted to kind of touch base on a few different things, escaping the matrix of your mind, understanding some things that life brought to you that wasn't your responsibility, and then where to kind of place accountability and responsibility. Again, survival mode. This world that we live in is synthetic. There's the reality that we exist in isn't the reality that we live in, because this reality through the phone, most of what's going on through most of people's day, it's not us communicating face to face, being in the present. Though even the aspect of dialogue is getting lost, it seems more and more over time, because people are so used to texting, they're not used to that direct response. And again, that's synthetic, because let's say something happened and this goes down, you have to deal with the reality that is present. Can you start a fire? Do you know how to grow anything? Have you ever worked on your car? Have you done any basic repairs around your house? Can you source water? Do you understand how to start to even purify or take care of water so that you can ingest it? There's real aspects about survival that are put out of mind because of how synthetic these conveniences are. And it's allowed people to either ignore or glorify quote unquote traumas that they exist in. I was talking to my homie about this last night, actually. Because let's say trauma previously was a father watching his son get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, or a family watching their dad get trampled by a herd of woolly mammoths, or a pack of wolves taking off the mother and the father trying to struggle raising the kids. So maybe he harnessed some of that trauma and he just started to hunt a bunch of animals to ensure that this would never happen to anybody again. And right now, because we don't have those natural survival influences, we have convenient survival influences, bullies, my parents not letting me get my way, self-sabotaging yourself, something that you're doing to yourself and you're not acknowledging and taking responsibility and accountability for, but we're just gonna point the finger at the outside world, and then weird stuff starts to happen. I don't know, people have quote unquote accidents, or people snap and go off on violent rages. It's unfortunate, but it's due to a synthetic nature of situations that are happening right now. Being blessed, I got to take on the responsibility of retracing a lot of my childhood trauma, understanding what I was actually searching for. You've heard me speak about this in different times, voids that I tried to fill in my life with different situations. I didn't necessarily have a good parent to confide and communicate with, so I sought those things in an outside world, and it wasn't until going through my divorce that I really turned to the person that I could have, my father, or just really even a male role model that I could have trusted at the time, but it just happened to be access to my dad. And the presence of a father in your life could be more valuable than you might consider, because they might listen differently, emotionally detached than, for lack of a better sake, your mom might. And bless her heart, she's going through survival mode from some of her earned situations, so she's doing technically the best that she can, but she just doesn't have the capabilities to really hear and understand what you're going through. Because maybe she wasn't provided that, she doesn't know how to provide that. It's a weird cycle. Generational traumas coming from the community that I'm from, lack of emotional awareness or intelligence, just people moving through life as best as they can because we're fighting things that we have zero control over anyway. Yeah, that's a benefit. Not for nothing. There wasn't time, room, or space to be depressed or process emotions. You had to keep moving. We had to keep fighting to survive another day. We had to make sure that we could stretch whatever we had as long as we could so that we weren't necessarily starving. I get that. I understand that. I forgive them for that aspect. It just took a long time of holding on to that burden and baggage until I finally got to realize through communicating with coaches, mentors, because it wasn't just my dad. Like, I was hollering at my brother, I was hollering at my homie. Like, my network of people and coaches, mentors, friends that I communicate with, we're growing. We get to share this information and knowledge. I had a really deep discussion last night. It was really good because, I'm sharing about mistakes that I've been through with my relationship and otherwise, and these aren't necessarily things that people would tell you about relationships, the nuances, the things that are important, how important physical connection is, and emotional awareness in relationships. Those two things will kind of make or break whatever the situation is. And it'll keep you looking appealing, or it'll cause you to look unattractive, depending on how you're managing that. And then, the responsibility and duties of taking on these tasks as a man. Because they're not for nothing that the value that it holds far exceeds what we are told that it does. And to truly harness and take responsibility for what that is, you can do a lot of damage. Or you can heal a lot of hurt. Understanding what I understand, it's like I started to go through a 12-step program for myself and apologizing for certain things because I had caused hurt. I had allowed some of my pain to bleed out and actually hurt other people, Then again, the flip side to this is that if you're the healed person that you are right now, you might not have interacted with these people to the level and degree that you did when you were broken. A lot of these relationships are broken people with broken people, and we're doing the best that we can to try and heal and work through, but we don't have the knowledge, the tools, or the skill set to actually start to repair, because it's going to take acknowledging and owning responsibility for a level of pain that you might not be ready to. It might take you traveling back to some hurt places and letting go of some shit that you might not be ready to. Some people hold on to trauma and they use that fuel to take them to the next level. But if you're still carrying that around, you're still going to make similar mistakes no matter where you're at. Because this is part of the conversation, and I'm sure you've heard this before. No matter where you go, you'll always be there. So if you're not healing from the inside, it doesn't matter where you place yourself. You're still going to be hurt. You're still going to have pain. You're still going to have stuff that you need to resolve. So again, taking advantage of that, forgiving myself, apologizing to myself, apologizing to the people that I care about, that I got to interact with, and it's amazing what a genuine, sincere apology can do for somebody. Because they really just might want you to acknowledge, damn, dude, this sucks. Maybe they even know that you didn't mean it, but again, holding on to something, they might be harboring that and you don't know. So it's a very tough concept, and it took a long time for me to really take advantage of that and own that blessing. But I'm glad that I got to do it before I was so late in my life that I was too lost to really find it. You know? So I'm thankful for the trials and the solutions, and I will continue to be a blessing to myself and those around me. You know, I'm resting in my resilience right now because I enjoy the opportunity to take care of me, and then how much better that benefits everybody that I get to interact with. And like, for neglecting myself for so long, trying to call myself a savior, trying to take care of other people's issues, man. Like, it's unfortunate, but again, I'm glad that I got to take advantage of this before I got later on down the road. I'm blessed for my trials and my solutions. I really appreciate gaining the knowledge, insight, understanding, acceptance, so that I can forgive people, forgive myself, make apologies where apologies are due, and then hold myself accountable so that I can have a continued prosperous, better life, connection, relationships, what have you. I enjoy the fact that I got to find and embrace my sadness and understand where my real sadness is coming from. I'm glad that I got to shed a bunch of anger so that I wasn't ignoring a portion of myself that I needed to pay attention to. My 8-year-old self is proud of me right now, and I love that I get to have that guy. So, yeah, man, like, just again, understand that this world isn't what you make it to be, and that taking discipline and ownership over who you choose to be don't just haphazardly happen in the world. That's the blessing. I've been a force of nature. I just wasn't as concentrated and focused. And now that I get to do both of those things, you know? So again, the syntheticness of this world, it's not real. Outside is always real. I did a bunch of propagating for my plants recently. I guess I'll post them so you guys can see, but like, I get to get back to things that I really enjoy and care about. And like, they're not really superficial things. I've always been appreciative of the very small things. And appreciation goes a long way. Show a little gratitude to yourself. Never forget to take care of yourself. It's okay to treat yourself on occasion. Just make sure that you're earning that and not overdoing it. Again, with the 7 deadly sins, lustfulness, sloth, greed, wrath, envy, gluttony, and pride. Wages out.